everybody. We are Tamara and Cindy, and together we are two Psychics No Limits. And normally we would be talking about topics from our own life experiences, topics that are out there in the world, to remove the taboo. But today we'll do something special, something unusual. We are going to trans-channel both our own teams, and both Tamara and I have no clue what they would like to discuss. So for us, it is somehow like, what will the topic be, and what will they be, throwing out there? So I'm sure it will be very interesting, or we both believe it will be a very interesting conversation. Yeah, so Tamara and I will both taking our own time to settle into the energies, and then we will get our teams. And I believe you, Tamara, will also be speaking with your eyes closed, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Me too. So it will be very fun that we are looking at each other with our eyes closed.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't hear what they talk to each other about, so it's really exciting.
Me too, but I'm sure it will be fun.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Hello, beloved ones. We are Zed. We are grateful for the opportunity to speak with Carla today in your presence so that we may unify for you topics that are of great concern for us on the other side that would help you in your third dimensional experience so that you can create the evolution on your planet that you so desire.
Hello, we are Carla. We are very pleased as well, just like said, to be here and speak to you. We would like to address a few topics indeed. Might be topics that you might find difficult to, you would not say the word cope, but we are lack of words how to describe it else. For us, Carla, we would like to speak more about the heart, because we have noticed that when having sessions, giving workshops or one-to-one counseling, we have noticed that a lot of human beings have great difficulties in finding their own hearts. Zed, what are your topics for today?
We would agree with your interpretation of the inability or lack of mastery of those on the planet being able to access their heart space, or they spend their entirety in their head space, in their mental bodies and in their emotional bodies, but they do not understand that their heart space is a separate place unto this. It is not the emotional space. It is certainly not the mental space. It is the space of clarity, of understanding, of peace and calm, and of centeredness. And it is what is most needed and desired upon the planet at this time. So we are grateful to you, Carla, for bringing this topic for discussion today, and we look forward to all that is being brought forth.
You are very welcome, and we are grateful for you too to support us in covering this matter. We would like to start first why we have brought up the heart, and of course we will let you talk too, and we take turns, so to say. Do you agree? Is it something that you can work with?
We agree very much. Please proceed.
Thank you. Now, when it comes to the heart space, as Zed already mentioned, it is a space that has hardly been used. It is either covered, closed, not so easy to be reached. It can be overwhelming for people as well, for human beings, as you do not spend so much time there. The confidence is not there that you are able to get your guidance from the heart. The heart is able to give you the answers that you require. You only have not yet received the practice in doing so. It is for us of great concern that lives are being built, but also decisions are being made, conversations, actions are being made from the headspace. The headspace, dear ones, is quite limiting. It knows what it knows. Most of you most likely has already heard of this phrase. It knows what it knows, but still on a conscious level, you have not yet understood what it means. All the information that you have in your head is all that you have. Your heart is somehow like a compass. It directs you in a way where to find your answers, where to walk, how to trust someone or something, how to deal with a certain situation, a situation that can be positive or negative. There's a lot of knowledge there. You have only not yet opened your heart to listen what it has to say. That we would like to ask you if you can give your side of view, your perspective on this.
We find that the separation of the human from their heart space was first occurred at the time of the separation. And those on your planet who are of a religious nature understand the bringing in of the Adam and Eve mythology. And we clarify that as the time of separation. It is the time when individuals separated themselves paradoxically and through a paradigm, separated themselves from their own higher self, their own higher knowing, their own connection to their own inspiration, their own connection to their divine feminine and divine masculine within themselves, and their own connection to their heart. And they began to look outside of themselves for answers, for suggestions, for directions, for dependency, for love and affection. And all of these things created within the human ecosystem, within the human mentality, in the emotional structures, in the relationship structures, in the societals and community structures, the idea that the within is not available and the without is all that matters. And we would say that it is completely the opposite of what is true. What is without is those things that are only a reflection. And what is within is where your true power is, where your true importance is, where your true validation is, where your true abundance and fulfillment and bliss is. And so with that separation came the idea of loss and lack, came the separation of self. And what we are speaking about today with Carla, and Carla is also expressing, is the need to return to the self, which is centered first in the heart space and then in the connected soul space. But we'll tell you that you cannot get to the clarity of your soul space unless you first move through this space of the heart.
We fully agree, thank you. Excuse us, did you want to add something else, Ed?
We would like to add that there is an element on the planet right now that is attempting to keep the majority of the participants in a state of fear, anger, frustration, and in abdication of their own personal responsibilities. And that is how the energy of separation works. And what we are offering today here as a group, as a consensus amongst beings of light, is that your heart space is the only avenue that will create clarity, direction, and certainty into shifting from the calamity that is in the world today to the peace that is being birthed and brought into the planet through this evolution into 5D. The heart space is the only way to get there.
We agree completely, thank you so much.
You're welcome. What are your thoughts?
We are very much connected to the emotions and the feelings of human beings. That is our area. So when you were talking about the fear and the anger, the anxieties, these are all emotions that are hanging around, so to say, distributed by human beings. Unconsciously, excuse us, unconsciously, human beings are picking this up. You might not be in a position at all to have fear of something. For example, we will just take a very common fear that you have, a fear towards money, because the relationship that you have with money is very disturbing to us. For example, when there is a fear of not having enough, when you personally would be in a situation that you have plenty, unconsciously you might pick up the thoughts and the vibrations and the energies outside that carry the frequency of not having enough. You walk around with this. The more human beings are tapping into this fear to keep you separated, the bigger the fear. Of course, we do not want to say this to cause you even more fear, but we want you to become self-aware. We would like to point out that when you are tapping into love, into your own heart, what is it that you can give to yourself? Focus on that, put your energy in that, and that will grow. Does this happen overnight? No, it will not. It is a process. It will take some time for you. It will take some effort or some practice to go inside of your heart and feel what you feel. Your heart might be in pain. It might feel sad. It might feel uncomfortable, although that is not the correct word, but we cannot find anything else that is close to the word uncomfortable. When we are able to transform that into something positive, for example, happiness and joy, you would be carrying that within, but also outside of yourself. You will be walking around with joy and happiness coming from your heart. When we would ask you, the ones who are listening, do you know how it feels to feel happy and to have joy? Most of you would say, yes, I would know how that feels. But the feelings are more coming from the head because you have somehow like an idea or a picture of how it should or how it can feel. But it does not come from the heart. Zed, what is your take on this?
We would agree very much because there is a major misinterpretation of the ideas and the concepts of love, affection, certainty, happiness, joy, confidence, self-worth. They all have been elevated into mental constructs that are logical, that can be compartmentalized. And what you bring up is very true and very important, because when going into the heart space, the first aspect of the heart space is the emotion. And in avoiding the emotion, which is what many on your planet have programmed themselves to do, avoid emotion, what you're doing then is you're allowing those emotions to find places into your body where they become sicknesses or illnesses or diseases. And so what we would offer as a better plan is to go into that heart space and acknowledge the emotions. You have the opportunity then to stand with them, acknowledge them, and then allow that recognition, that acknowledgement to complete the emotional process, so that then you are able to transmute that emotion into what you prefer, as Carla has spoken, switching that into happiness or joy or abundance. It is important that the actions be taken to do the process of not confronting your emotions, but being present with the emotion as an objective observer, even, so that you can acknowledge their presence and understand that regardless of why they are there, they are there, and allowing them then to speak their piece. For emotions are a flag for you, an indicator for you of something in your experience, either positive or negative. And as you ignore or push away or refuse to acknowledge your emotions, you're refusing to acknowledge these flags or indicators. And so as you acknowledge them as an indicator, you then have the ability to be empowered through the process of acknowledging the emotion and deciding what you would prefer instead. And it becomes a beautiful dance of cooperation and evolution, as opposed to regression and degradation. And that evolutionary process of transmuting the emotions from where they are to where you prefer them to be becomes a liberation. And as all of the hidden emotions are resolved and transmuted, then you have the opportunity to go into the heart space that is that place of peace and calm and centeredness, so that then you can begin to move forward in your life, filling it with your heart's desires.
Thank you, Zed. We would like to add what you have mentioned about love. We would like to talk about the concepts indeed that you human beings have given to certain words, as Zed mentioned. Love is not only in a romantic way. You can have love for your sister, for a friend of the opposite sex, but do not have a romantic relationship with him or her. Love is so much more than that. Love is a powerful energy. You, as human beings, are not yet there to understand how powerful it can be. You can move things. Literally, you can move things. We see that we have a long road to in front of us, so to say, how to guide and counsel human beings to that powerful energy that love is. Do you agree, Zed?
We agree very much, for it is a skill that has not yet been mastered.
And we also would like to add, you are in a time where things are changing very quickly. You see things around you, not to say it is messed up, it is maybe in your eyes or in your understanding that it is a big mess, but to us it is a huge celebration. We do understand, and we are speaking from Carla's point of view. We will ask that later how you feel about it. But to us, as Carla, we are celebrating this because it is as if space is being opened up for you to be more of whom you are. And you are all love. You're all that. Are there human beings out there who are less positive, so to say? Yes, there are, but they are not doing that on purpose. Most of them are not. They are just on another journey. They are just on a different level of love. Like yourself, you are at a different level than your neighbor, or your friend, or your family members. You all are on your own journey to understand who you are. What the level of love that you have within, and what is it that you can give. The things happening around you in the external world is needed for you to evolve. As how Zed had already mentioned, it is part of your evolution. Without this, you will be continuing on the same road, maybe still complaining that you do not like your job, complaining that other human beings are not as fortunate as you are, complaining about such and such. These changes around you are required for you to evolve, to grow, to understand. They are needed. It is not for you to increase the fear that you already have. That is what some human beings are trying to sell you. We would like to ask you not to tap into that, not to listen to that. Follow your own guidance. Follow your own heart. Your own heart is your own compass. It will bring you where you will need to be. Listen to that. But as we have said at the beginning of this conversation, you have not been aware how to. You have been asked to close your heart. You have been asked not to listen to it because it will only tell you the opposite of what you need or what you require. You have been asked to walk away from your heart. It is time now to listen to it. Find your confidence to listen to your heart. Please do not close it. Open it. Will it be easy? No, we understand. That's why we are here. We are here to guide you how to do that. And we are very gentle. We do this step by step on your pace. Some human beings go faster than others. That is okay. That is their journey. You have your own journey. Zed, would you like to add something?
We wholeheartedly agree with all the words that wise Carla has spoken, for the need is upon the earth for this specific shift in the human experience. For there have been wars and rumors of wars for ages, and now it is time to come into the balance of divine equality and divine partnership. And that partnership must come through the heart. The wars, the conflicts, the contradictions, the inequalities, and the incongruencies have all come from the mind, from the mental state, and from the adulteration of the heart, meaning that love has been shifted to mean control, to mean responsibility and obligation, and to mean words that the heart was never designed to be defined as. And so in this evolutionary process that is happening now, those old understandings and paradigms are being dismantled. They're being deconstructed, and that process will be painful for some because the ego is also attached to the status quo, how it has been up until now. And so there is much that is going to be changing on the planet, but we tell you that it all is in relation to your heart. There is nothing that occurs on the planet that cannot be resolved through divine love for yourself first, as we teach. Fill your cup to overflowing first, so that you then can overflow divine love onto your experience and to the people and the community and the nation and the planet. Because you cannot assist from a place of disempowerment, a place of incongruency, a place of ignorance about what true divine love is. And so you're being called in this time. And it will take several years for this process to completely mature. So it is not an overnight experience. It is going to require mental and emotional discipline, and it's going to require support, which is why Carla and Zed and all the other light beings are here to assist, because it is a process that engages emotions at a very high level, and you on your planet are not equipped to handle emotions at a high level in a supportive way. And so that's why we all are here to teach you how to do this well, how to evolve this well, how to support yourselves well as you go through these times of transformation.
We agree, thank you. We would like to continue on what Jed just mentioned about the ego. The relationship that a lot of human beings have with the word ego, it is something that is not of a positive frequency, so to say. An ego is more seen as in how somebody is. Your ego will stay with you for the rest of your life. Your ego is there because you are in a human being body or in a body. It is part of your journey. It has been dedicated in some tasks, or actually a lot of tasks, that do not belong to the ego. It happens in a time that Seth mentioned earlier in this conversation, with the separation. Your ego is there to challenge you, yes, but not to challenge you in a negative way. Your ego is there to help you. It is your teacher. Please understand. Your ego is part of your evolution. Please be nice to it. It is your friend. It's your teacher. It's your companion. Your ego is not there to get rid of, nor to be ignored. It will be teamwork. Without your ego, you'll be lost. But it has been overloaded, so to say, with actions to be taken or decision making that does not belong to the ego. That's why it wants everything. When it comes to your external world, and when it comes to self-love, as Zed mentioned, taking care of yourself, we do not mean this in a selfish way. Imagine this, when everybody will be paying attention to themselves, there's no need anymore to pay attention to someone else, because you are occupied only with yourself within, asking yourself, how am I doing? How is my physical body doing? Do I have aches and pains? How is it emotionally doing? Am I angry, frustrated? Am I happy? Am I sad? How am I doing on a spiritual level? If you start to meditate, if you start to follow your passion, but to follow your passion, you will need to be connected to your heart. Your mind cannot be in between. Your passion is connected to your heart. Taking care of yourself is not selfish at all. You are the most important person in your life because nobody else will take care of you. The entire process of going through your emotions or your life experiences, we for sure will not ask you to remember exactly what happened, because what happened in the past is still there, here, in the now, in the present. But something happened in the past for you to feel the way you feel right now. Taking care of yourself is the most important and the most valuable thing that you can do. Nobody can do it on your behalf. Will it be nice to experience pain? Of course it is not. We do understand and we do agree it's not always easy, but both Seth and I, or us, Carla, we are there to guide you in a way that it will be less painful and as smooth as possible for you to make the journey for you more comfortable. Is there anything else you would like to say, Zed?
We would like to thank you for your clear explanation, for it is perfectly spoken. And we would like to offer the resonance for each of you on the planet that this evolution can happen. It is destined to happen. And all of you on your planet right now have come in this time as volunteers to be part of this evolutionary process. You are not a victim. You are not hampered or hindered. You are an embodied, powerful, divine being who is here for this purpose in this time. And you have all the support of the beings of light, the billions of beings of light who surround your planet all the time, day or night, spring or winter. For there is no time that you are not supported. There is no time when you are absent or alone, for you have designed your process and participation during this particular evolutionary period. So we would encourage you to garner your strength, your self-worth, and know that you can do this, for it is time.
Thank you, Zed, for your wise words and for all the introductions you have given in this conversation. This allows us to build further on what you have mentioned. It is indeed time, dear ones. We are not able to wait any longer, neither can you. When you would like to see a change in your external world, it all starts with your journey within. Whatever you feel within is what you see outside. Some human beings might say to someone, "You live in a fantasy world." This other person might come across living in a fantasy world, but that is how this person sees the world, through his or her own eyes. That is what she attracts or he attracts. You would like to ask you to do the same. This fantasy world does exist. It only depends on what you are resonating with. Do you like it to be walking around in fear, feeling alone? You have nobody to talk to. We are sure you do not want to go through life like this. Therefore, we would like to ask you to go within and ask yourself why it is. Why do you feel alone? What are you afraid of? By addressing and asking yourself, there will be topics coming up to the surface. And that is how it works. Whatever comes up to your mind is the most important thing at that moment to work on. Address it, transform it. We can assure you that your life will be very much different. Because when one of you do this, it will have an effect on somebody else too. As Ed already mentioned before, you are all connected. You are not separate at all. That is just the illusion that they have given you. You are all very strong. You're all light. You are all love. But do understand that one and each of you is on their own journey. One is further ahead in his or her road. Do not compare yourself to one another unless you can learn something from it. You are not alone either. Z is there to guide you. We are here to guide you. There are many more beings around you that you can ask for help. You are not alone on your journey. You are all doing this together. The more of you are dealing with buried emotions, the easier and the quicker you can get to a wonderful world the way you would like to live. Not from the heart or not from the head, but experience it from the heart. Be it, live it. We believe that these are our final words. Would you like to continue, Zed?
Thank you so much, Carla. For our parting words are ones that we've spoken before, that the desires of your heart are in your heart because they already belong to you. And it's important for you to recognize and realize that powerful divine truth for the desires that are in your heart for goodness, for peace, for clarity, for happiness, for joy, for help, for prosperity, for yourself and for others. They are there because they already belong to you. And all you have to do is acknowledge those things, the idea, the concept, the reality that the desires of your heart to be successful, to have joy, to have help, all of the things that are in your heart for goodness and for light are already yours. So any thought or any emotion that is not resonant with those desires of your heart are not yours. They don't belong to you. You just were born into them, you experienced them, you walked through them, you bought into them. And so we would say that all this acknowledgement and transformation that we've been speaking is to help you get to this point to understand what is yours and what's not yours. And the things that are not yours can easily be transmuted because they do not belong to you. They were temporary. And the things that do belong to you are your divine light, your purity, your goodness, your divine self-expression and divine truth. For there is no limit to what you can accomplish if you move from the space of the heart that has been addressed and transmuted so that the desires that are in your heart are bigger than anything that is not that.
Thank you very much for the ones listening. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you going within and solve what is in there. Take a method that resonates with you. One method does not mean that work for somebody else as well. You are all on your own journey, as we have mentioned before. Pick something that feels good to you, that you are able to appreciate, because that will be important on your journey. The appreciation, the gratitude. Take something that fits to you, not because of what somebody else does. You are all unique, and you are all on your own road. Thank you very much.
We would also like to thank you very much for your time and attention, for the work that you do for yourself and those on the planet to evolve into this great becoming. And so we would once again remind you that we are present, Carla is present, all of the archangels and the beings of light are always available to support you in this evolutionary period. You are not alone. You simply ask and it is given. For the time is now. May you be blessed with the understanding that you are a divine being of light. May you acknowledge and be present with the emotions that are signals for you, and may you transmute them with ease and grace for the benefit of all. And so it is.
So it is.
I kept feeling feathers on my face.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I got to stay in the room this time. That was awesome.
Really?
Usually I have to leave the building. So I got to stay in the room and I kept feeling these like feather tickles on my face.
Oh, that's cute.
Awesome. So, wow. That was really great.
Mm-hmm. Very clear as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. They were really into it. I could feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not really completely back. But yeah. Was a good conversation. It was really funny, to talk like this, because normally there will be like an interaction, like Carla would ask a question, somebody gives an answer. So it was really funny to actually know when Zed is finished speaking and that they can start.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that it was a really awesome partnership there. Yeah, it felt really easy.
Yes.
Yay!
Yay!
I hope it blesses people. A first time.
Yeah. And who knows, there will be some more coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you have any topics, or if you would like to ask Carla or Suzette to talk about it, then we do another video like this.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, fun. Okay. Do you want to share your website details and such?
Sure. So if you would like help with what Zed was talking about today and what Carla was talking about today, Zed does a monthly Living a Congruent Life training, and you can find that on my website at yourownsoul.com. And also, as part of the support, they've been teaching since January. We're going through, they don't teach, like I'm not doing channelings, but I'm doing teachings every single month on personal empowerment, using the empowerment principle, our mental body, our emotional body, our actions and deeds. Like I did a class yesterday on actions and deeds, and it's uploaded. So there's lots of great content, and that is in the Empowerment Posse, which is also on the website at yoursoul.com. So you have support. And of course, if you want individual sessions or readings with Zed or with me or with any of the archangels or the Council of Light, you can get those as well on my website. And if you have any questions, you can email me at info@yourownsoul.com. All right, Cindy?
Yes, you can find more information on my website, channelingcarla.com, and they do give one-to-one sessions because everybody is different and we all have a different kind of background, life experiences. So when you would like to address something in particular, then I would recommend to do like a one-to-one session. They do give workshops too, but of course it will be more general, and it depends on participants as well, how comfortable you are sharing your personal matters in a group. I also have a YouTube channel. Sorry, I'm like I need to across my my words. Anyway, YouTube channel is called Blue Lotus, and you will find more videos from Carla up there, and you will also see and find other messages that I upload on behalf of other beings. I also channel Isis, Kuan Yin, Mother Mary, and also Marilyn, Eva, and so on. So please have a look, and if you resonate with any of those beings, please reach out to me at info@channelingcarla.com.
Wonderful. Yay!
Thank you. Yay! And then see you all next time.